Evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back, my friends. This is, of course, the one and the only MRC show that never ends. Welcome to Tier 2, Round 6 of Season 15, to a very, very excitingly wet Singapore Grand Prix under the lights. Oh, this is going to, really upset, I think, quite a few people. Hearts, I'm sure, are going to sink at this moment in time. Wow, that's something we did not expect at all. While everybody panics and changes their setups, usually a high downforce setup anyway round here, being a very difficult street circuit, but a few little changes are going to be made, I am sure about it. Let me introduce the man alongside me this evening. He is a man who we've actually not been in the commentary box together for quite some time. He is our multinational tyre whisperer, one of the best in Tier 1, one of the ones with a fantastic racing knowledge as well. It is my pleasure to introduce Mr. Anton. Good evening, sir.
Hi, Mark. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Good, yourself?
It has been like 2 or 3 seasons since we've been on comms together. That's very true.
Yeah, it has. It has been a really long time. Yeah, you're probably not far off, actually. Yeah, I think obviously we were in different tiers for quite a while. But
comms with.
Yeah,
I think you were probably the first one I had comms with, and then never saw you again. So
I know.
It's a reunion.
It is, isn't it? We're reunited on track, and then now, of course, in the comms box as well. And I mean, this is a bit exciting, isn't it? Under the wet and under the rain.
It's looking mad, and do you know what looks even madder? It's Nick BT in P2 in the Aston Martin. He's out on intermediates. So it's one thing going out on intermediates, doing an ant, going out on inters when it's dry, going on the intermediates when everybody else is possibly going on wet tyres. That's very ballsy.
It is, isn't it? Yeah, and we've seen him. He's really, really struggling already for the grip. Of course, tyre's going to be cold, but everyone else, you're right there. We've got the tyres up in the screen. They're on the wet tyres. Let's go down to Scottish Ninja. He's on the wet tyres. Let's just have a quick look on his outlap to see how that car seems to be faring, and it looks a little bit grippier. I must say that not as tentative, but this is going to throw the cat amongst the pigeons, isn't it? And especially, like I said at the start there, this is high downforce, as all the street tracks, other than Jeddah, really are. But to add with the wet conditions, that's really gonna hurt people, isn't it? And it gives an extra level of danger.
Yeah, the only silver lining here is that there's not too much of a compromise to do in the setups, as you said. But yeah, they're still going to have to probably increase their ride heights, soften the suspension a bit. I always reduce my brake percentage. I can't remember what it's named. Brake pressure percentage. To avoid the lockups in these conditions. I don't know what the race is going to be like. Maybe it's going to be more the same. Wow, Scottish Ninja coming into the final corner, just making it. It's so slippery out here.
Yeah, this is going to be one evening monster. Evening, Martin. I'm sure you guys will give us a bit of an update to what the weather's going to be like when it comes to race time, or if it's actually going to stop raining at all throughout this session. But yeah, quick shout to Monster. He's was our priority reserve and back up to a full-time seat in the Aston Martin. And interestingly enough, he's actually been partnered with his teammate as well from last season with Nick. So that's a reunion as well in that one. I only realised it earlier on, I think. So that's a good one for them.
They were Ferrari together, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and a good pairing as well. And yeah, this is going to be this is a quick track. If you get your setup absolutely pinpoint, I mean, we saw it. I've seen it through some of the practice sessions that I've been in, and some of the lap times are ridiculously quick. But this is now, I think, like you said, it's easy. You've got to be easy on the throttle. You've got to be, like you mentioned, you're softening the brakes to not lock up and soften suspension to get the grip. And it's all about that heat as well in the tyres, isn't it?
That's about to cross the line.
Let's have a look. Let's go to him. What's he do? He does a 1:49.3. Who's going to be next to cross the line? Let's have a look. Is it Scottish Ninja a bit further back? Airways is next. Let's have a go down to him in the Williams. And he's coming up to the end. Panizza. Yeah, Pizza at a 47.1. So, yeah, that looks like a 48.0 for Airways. I think the wets are the tyre to go on at this stage. Who was that? That was.
It does look that way. Yeah, we don't know though how hard Nick was pushing. Maybe it was just a tentative lap, trying to figure out where the grip was, having two laps to figure things out. But
yeah,
no more in the next few minutes for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's the thing with the wet and the intermediate tyres. You tend to fuel for 3, 4, 5 racing laps because you don't use as much of the battery during the wet conditions. And with a lot of the braking points, you can recharge quite nicely round here. So Freddie is in a 46.7. As we're going through this in the early stage, let's just quickly look at... he's a championship leader at the moment by only half a point from Doris, who's not actually racing this evening. So that could be a big swing in the championship as well. No Vixen as well. Collins on on a race ban. So he could really drop down the order, and Nick could really, really close those gaps to Freddie potentially and jump up, if he has a good result, into second of the championship.
That's another big gap by a driver that's only just come back to MRC. That's a 6/10th gap and the 7/10th gap for pole right now. So times are only going to go down from here on, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. As you said, they're finding the grip. They'll find out where to brake, where to put the throttle on, and the tyres are going to go just that little bit better. And yeah, it's going to be a session where I think we're going to, as you said there, start to see the lap times tumble down throughout the next 11 minutes or so. We still don't know what's going to happen in the race. But as Carl's decided he's going to play it with the wall and goes very, very wide through the last corner, doesn't invalidate, just about keeps it and does a 150. Carl's going to be one, if it is wet in the race, Carl's going to be one you sort of want to keep an eye on. So single track, actually, they're very, very good in the wet. Red car as well. So they're people I'm going to keep my eye on. But, you said it again, Hoseman, the hose pipe he's come back to MRC and immediately sprung a leak and all over the track. Nobody would see a doctor for that. But he actually messaged me the other day about he'd just done some laps for the first time in a long months. And he commented on my time trial time and said, well, I'm equal to you already. And I don't do time trial. I only do it for sort of base setups, if you like. It's not a challenge for me. Go on.
Nick in P8, he's 2 seconds down on Hoseman's time, and he's already 2 seconds up in the middle sector.
Wow,
so I suggest you go to him.
I am always, as you've mentioned it, as you started talking about it, as Hoseman goes a little bit quicker once again in a 45, but that rain looks like it's eased slightly. But this could be good from Nick.
Possibly, yeah.
As we go through the final corners, what does he do? It's a 45 dead.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
That's
definitely
very
wow.
impressive.
It is, and he's the only one on the Inters as well, still.
Yeah, and he's got his tyres up to temperature. They're around the 60-degree mark as well, so not looking too bad for him. You've got Freddie in the middle sector. He's improving by he improved by 3/10 in the first sector. P4, sorry, Freddie.
Yep, got him. As Benitez popped it into second.
Just going back to Hoseman, he was always very quick. I can't remember if it was tier 1 at one point, but he was definitely in the conversation for going up at some point because he was fighting for the championship in tier 2.
Yes, he was, yep.
So if he isn't up to speed just yet, expect him to be very soon.
Oh, 100%. Absolutely. I can't agree with you more. He has always been a very, very quick ascender and a very strong racer. And he's one of those drivers that it's fun to race against, but very, very difficult as well to race against. I think we both had battles with him. I have as well when I was in tier 2. And yeah, he was one that I kept my eye on quite a lot. And as Freddie's actually dropped quite a bit of time on that one, but maybe he just saved and bailed on his lap a little bit. As the lap times are definitely tumbling. Yeah, he does.
Yep.
So this is good fun, isn't it? We mentioned last week where we had the issue with the locking of the brakes and the tyre smoke that Codemasters made 10 times worse than fixing it. And I've noticed through this, it's not white smoke. It turns very dark, but doesn't hang around as long as it did. I think I was following you, full enough, in practice session. I noticed that it just disappeared quite quickly, so it wasn't too bad. But now in here, if you do get a lockup, and it'll still give smoke, but now you've actually got the spray as well. That still looks like something off Minecraft.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much it's been improved, but it's nowhere near as bad as how much the brake smoke has been not improved, but worsened.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't pay too much attention to that, but yeah, it's. I mean, I'd prefer driving in the wet, to be honest. I'd rather have the spray and everything rather than the braking smoke. In the current state of the game, I mean.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, I just don't like the wet conditions at all. I've never been good in wet. I'm really, really poor at it. It just doesn't work for me at all. But yeah, no, this is interesting. We've got Sociopath in the pits. He hasn't set a lap time yet. He's on a qualifying ban, but
Prix done fastest.
He has, and he's on the wet tyres, but only by just over a tenth of a second. Airways is coming out the pits on the intermediate tyres. So this is going to be interesting. See if drivers are looking to swap now in the final stages, in the final third of this Dondej. Yeah, he's on the qualifying ban, so retired anyway. But this is going to be an interesting one to see if anybody's going to swap or anybody keeps with the tyres. Because single track, Armour Red's only done one lap, so has Voice on their wet tyres. We're seeing people do about 4 laps. Oh, his husband again improves to a 44.6, and he's stuck out on those wets. So maybe a lap or two just to recharge the battery. And then, of course, the car gets lighter. Oh, Voice is out of the session. I think that might have just been in the pits, actually. It is. I think. Yep, it is.
Yeah. This kind of reminds me of the first qualifying session, I think, in Tier 1 in Hungary.
Yes, it was. It was wet, wasn't it?
And at the very end, it just switched to the intermediates, but just enough for it to be the advantage for the Inters. I'm wondering if we're looking at the same kind of situation here. Nick Beattie is still in the pits. He's got an intermediate set. Oh no, he's on his outlap. Sorry, so we'll soon figure out. But he's hit the wall, and he's got an end plate missing.
Oh, he has.
So yeah, we'll see how much this affects him. At least this will give him more stability in the corners. But yeah, it could work out very badly as well. We'll see soon.
Yeah, it's a strange one. I had it in one of the multiple races. I got caught up in a few bit of wheel bangings, and I had end plate damage. And I think I've seen it in a couple of other races I've been in the commentary box for, that if you get end plate damage on both sides, it balances out okay. It's really strange.
Yeah, balance. Yeah, I'd rather not have any.
Oh well, I've got it.
It's something like, okay, if you break one, you may as well break the other one. So
yeah, it's not recommended. It's not the tip of the day. It's not Hodgie's tip, but still. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it, but it does feel strange, and you're right though. I would definitely rather not, but. Yeah, I think you get the band single tracks going on the Inters. Let's have a look at Airways. He's on the Inters and he's up by 1.5 seconds currently on his lap. So what's he going to improve to? Coming the 46, he goes up to 5th on his. So that could be that could be a really strong indication that the Inters is the way to go. Or if you do what Loppy's just done, he's popped it into 2nd on the wets, and if you've got the grip still, I think we're at that crossover point, to be honest. I really, really do. Let's go back to Nick. There he is. Let's have a look at his first sector time. Half a second up in the first sector alone. Oh, very, very wide. But may have got away with it.
There is a kind of a dry line as well, kind of appearing. I didn't notice it earlier on. I don't know if it was there before, but there is a dry line, so maybe it's going towards the Inters, as you're saying.
Yeah, it could be. Could be right. We'll keep an eye on Nick, because, as you mentioned, of course, he has got that end plate damage, and just see how it affects this middle sector. Because he's coming up over the Anderson Bridge to what would be the second DRS point. Of course, not available. It's too wet for that. But yeah, that dry line, very, very apparent there, as he's 1.5 seconds up. This could be an incredible lap from Nick. He keeps it on the in between the white lines for the final fast sector. And just a quick one, what do you think of this layout now that they've got rid of that final section that went under the grandstand a few seasons ago and it made it into more just a straight line, I guess? Do you like it or do you miss it?
There are different aspects to this. I think it was...
Oh, wow.
Wow, that's a proper lap.
Yeah.
Next guy coming up will be Laupi in P3. I really enjoyed that longer section with more corners and everything. I think in terms of driving it was good fun as Laupi goes into the pits. But for raceability, I think it's really nice to have another straight and a braking zone where effectively you can have an overtaking opportunity, whereas before the third sector was a no-go zone for overtakes. So I like the change that's been done, even though it was kind of forced upon Singapore. They were doing some... Whoa, there are big improvements here from Bergen and Redcar Rambo.
Yeah, and they've stuck out on their tyres as well. They're a bit worn, those wet tyres.
So,
There's armour as well.
I like these improvements. I know many people miss the twisty section. I do for qualifying, but for race day, I think this is a nice change.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it. I liked the corners themselves. I thought they were quite a nice... The 90-degree corners were quite good, and it rewarded that the accuracy. But yeah, I do agree with what you're saying. I think it makes the lap a little bit more enjoyable because it was such a difficult lap. It was... You've got a couple of the straights, of course, that aren't that long. Oh, wow, Airways is 2 seconds up on his time. But yeah, it's one of those now that I think it makes it a bit more of a rest because that final sector was a difficult sector. And it does make it sort of a bit more of an easier ride, I think, throughout the lap.
Yeah, it's still very complicated.
Oh, it is,
It's a very tiring race. It's a very tiring race.
It is, especially if you're in the mix as well. What's Airways going to do? 43.0, just 0.02 of a second behind Nick, who's on his final lap. Cross the line in time. Yep, they are. Definitely. They've got a second.
P14, you've got single track improving by 1.6 seconds. So that could bring him up to around P9 for the moment. He'll probably be improving further.
Let's have a look. And as he crosses the line, it's a 44.9 into 9th.
Then you've got Armagh in P3 trying to go higher this time round. Yeah, he improves, but not enough to gain a position. So he'll be the last one to cross the line, but he doesn't go for a final lap, so I don't know what happened.
Yep, building that one. Loppy's finished. He's the first one. That's what's Nick doing on his final lap. Can he improve? Can he cement that pole position?
What can Hosman do? Hosman improved to P4 from P7, I think.
Yep, Krusty Teigen to third as well. Nick's pushing on.
Improving in P12.
We still don't know what's...
yeah, P5 for Benita.
Good lap. Good lap, and still wait to see what he's coming up to the final 2 corners. As Finney's a 42.3. Wow! What's Nick got in response? It's a 42.5. Wow! Well, to be fair, I wasn't even looking at Friddy. That's a fantastic improvement. Snuck in. As Bergen on a lap.
Rambo as well improving. He's 4 tenths up coming into the final sector.
Yep, I'm looking at him now. Yeah, this could put him potentially top 5.
Yep.
Let's have a look over the line. It's in 4th. Great improvement at the end. Really, really strong improvement. Great lap from him.
He'll be satisfied with that. You've got Bergen as well, slightly improving on his time.
Good help.
P9.
What's he got? And he slightly doesn't manage to move. Armour's bailed into the pits. What single track? He's in the pits as well. And that is qualifying done. Friddy, our championship leader, right at the death, pulls a lap out the bag to take pole position from Nick. That's incredible lap times.
So weird. I don't know if it's on stream right now, but our top 3 is on intermediate tyres.
Yep.
Fourth driver is on 8-lap-old wet tyres, and then you've got 4-5 laps. So people who've got fresher tyres, but Ryan managed to get to the top of the wet tyres.
Yeah, that's good. It's
effectively one set.
Yeah, that pretty well. Yeah, will be one set. Yeah, of course, you're right. So that's interesting to know that they've only used one set. A few of the guys used 2 intermediates. It's going to be interesting to see what comes out in the race. Of course, we have got a 5-minute interval. But yes, it's going to be an interesting one now to see how that's going to affect it in the race now. And I think we're going to have an exciting one. I really, really do. But quick rundown of the top 10. We've got Freddie Olsen, now championship leader, in pole position, with Nick in second, Airways in third, then Redcar in fourth, Krusty T in fifth, ahead of Horsman on his return in sixth, Panizza in seventh, then Armour Red in eighth, Bergen in ninth, and Loppy round at the top 10. Single track in 11th, ahead of the 2 McLarens of Bitt and Alex. Smith in 14th, then Monster in 15th, Scottish Ninja in 16th, Sam in 17th, 18th is Error Voice, Dundesh, and then Sociopath, who had qualifying bans. So yeah, this is going to be interesting to see who used tyres. Let's have a quick look while we have the interval and see what the weather's going to be. It's dry. So, who didn't change the setup too much? Because in this Park Fermi, you can change, what was it, the front wing, the brake bias, the on-diff, and the tyre pressures.
Yep.
So there's not a huge amount, that you can change. So this is going to be an interesting one to see who sort of only changed those parts for qualifying and who can change them back, or who went with a compromise as well.
Yeah, having a look at the grid right now, I've got the grid in front of me. I've taken the race director. So we've got Sociopath. Was he on a quali ban?
Yes, he was. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, he's at the back of the grid. We know how quick he is, and I know firsthand how quick he was. He was very quick in X this week. I think he got P3 on track or something. So, very good result considering he's a tier 2 driver. Yeah. And coming up against the Saviors, Chris's, and Ben's, even though Ben retired in the pits, but he's P20. Expect him to make his way up the grid. Then you've got single track in P11. I think it's a below par performance hit for him in qualifying.
Well, he said he actually pressed the wrong button in the YouTube chat. Said he got wets, not inters, so it wasn't actually his tyre choice, which is interesting.
But then, and this is probably a bit of bias talking here, but Ryan is in P4, and as I said, he was on one set of wet tyres. Did the whole qualifying on that set of tyres. Managed to out-qualify all of the other wet tyre drivers, and I've been struggling a bit with my setup, okay? And I've sorted it by using Ryan's setup. So I'm thinking right now that Ryan is going to be doing like a bit of a Monaco here. He's going to go out and give a real fight to go and get that win tonight.
Yeah, and he is good at street circuits. I've actually messaged him just before this, and how on earth he still managed to do that when he was up at, I think he said 4 o'clock doing an airport run. Who maybe family members or something was away on holiday, dropping off or pick up, and I don't know how he's managing to do that. A full day at work with his job as well. That's quite physical, and in these very, very cold temperatures that we've got in the north. And then doing that, I think that's incredible.
Actually, how cold has it been today?
I think it got up to... I had to defrost the car this morning at 8:30 this morning, and it was -2. So I think it got up to 3-4 degrees, I think, at best. Yeah, I think I went out lunchtime, and it was 4 degrees.
So yeah, you're going to need a bit of heating for your feet and hands tonight, right?
Yeah, I've actually got that on now. I'm not gonna lie, I really do. Yeah, it's not fun at this moment in time, but I think we've actually got snow forecasting around here as well. overnight, potentially. So luckily I'm off work tomorrow, so I don't have to defrost any cars. There's nothing worse in my job. There's nothing worse in my job as well when, the price boards in cars that on a used car pitch that we have to then scrape half the ice off, even just that part of the windscreens, so people walking in can actually see how much a car is and what a car is. It's horrible. It's really not fun.
Yeah. I'm having a quick look at strategies for now. I think 80% of the grid is going for medium tires right now. 85% now. Very few on hard tires, soft tires. It really does feel like a medium hard strategy, don't you think?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I was actually struggling in practice with the hard tyres, but we've actually got Martin's popped up. They said there's a chance of rain late in the race.
Ooh.
So that's going to be an interesting one of who's kept maybe the inters at that point, if it's late enough. And if it does warrant a change of the tyres. 11 of you, please do hit the like button. Join us in the YouTube as we are already ready to go. And let's have a look at those tyres. Exactly right. Yeah, wow. 3 drivers on the hard tyres, Aerovoice on the softs. Everybody else on the medium compound tyres. And I mean, I didn't mind those. I did in practice. They were okay. I just... Maybe it was my setup that was rubbish, to be honest, which it's a very strong possibility. So, yeah, I found the hards very, very difficult. But I kind of think if you are where the drivers are that are using the hards, they're in the middle of the pack, you can take those laps. If you can keep on the back of the drivers battling ahead, maybe gain some spots if possible, but keep with them and bring the hard tyres in gradually and then... Yeah. Go long, maybe use some softs if it's possible. There's the strategies at the bottom as we talk about them. It's almost like it's part of Facebook and Instagram where you say something and it suddenly pops up. So, mediums to hards was the possible one stop. Soft, medium, hards is the 2-stop strategy. But if we're going to have that rain, as Martin said, that's just really thrown a lot, isn't it? Now I think. There's a kick sub. I think that might have been Hoseman had a bit of a moment at the end of the Anderson Bridge.
Yeah, and exactly for that reason, with trying to bring the hard tyres into the race up to temperature and with the weather coming, I'm surprised that Sociopath didn't go for the hard tyres because, let's say, if there's the rain coming around lap 20 or something, he could stay out till lap 20 on hard tyres, have them still working just about enough, and then go switch to inters and keep the track position when everybody's been in the pits, because it's a very expensive pit stop here.
Yeah, it's a 36 mile an hour. Yeah. I don't know what it is in kilometres. That I'm not actually sure what the difference is.
60 kilometers per hour, and I think it's about 30-second pit stop.
So it's not a
long exit as well.
Yeah, I think that's the bit that costs the time, isn't it? Through there, it's not the longest pit stop, but because that's slow speed, and as you say, exactly that difficult entry and exit. Yeah, that's the bit that really costs the time. Sociopath, the man who had a fantastic race last week, that might have been Extreme, I think it was. Incredible race. I think he finished 5th in the end, was absolutely on fire. As we'll wait for the drivers, and we're going to quickly skip to the front to get the best view as we've got 3, 4 and 5 red lights, and under the lights of Singapore we go racing. Bit of wheel spin for Freddie, and that's allowed Nick to maybe have a look at the inside. There's a few cars, 3 abreast going into turn 1. Freddie takes the wide line. Nick trying to have a look. Airways and Ryan side by side. Ryan's now got the inside line through turn 3. Can he make it stick? The side by side. Panita's had a good start as well. Krusty T, really poor start. He's dropped 4 already. Panita's having a look on Hoseman as Ryan's made it up to 3rd, and I think everybody's made it through the first few corners. Good start from...
had a really good start.
Yeah, Krusty T's had a really poor... What's happened to Krusty T? Where is he? Oh, he's halfway down the straight. He must have had a tank. He's lost his front wing as well. We've got a virtual. That's a strange place to go. I wonder if he got squeezed in a tap.
Yeah. We missed that.
Yeah. Bitz had a poor start as well. He's down 7. Sociopath up 5. Monster up 3. Good starts from them. Loppy up 3 as well. So that's a really good start. And let's have a look at the people on the tyres. Bergen on the hards. He's in 8th now. So really, really good start for him.
I'm trying to see. I think Krusty T was invisible for me.
Oh. What, down the strip before the incident, you mean?
No, I've finally seen him. He was hidden away by a car when he was ghosted. Okay. Yeah, it's
Chris, he's retired over the Anderson Bridge.
Yeah.
So that's
it must have been some heavy damage. And let's take it. Okay.
What was
a safety car though?
What have we seen? Oh yeah, the safety car's out. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. It's just come out. So,
it just says virtual at the top of my screen. So, but yeah, it's definitely out on track. I don't know if you saw someone come together.
Well, I think that's down to Krusty T retiring. So, mild rant from me here. If you want to retire, people, go into the pits. Don't go into a wall. I don't know what. Just go into the pits and avoid causing a safety car situation, because we're here to race, please.
No, totally agree. And that, to be fair, I think is actually in the rule book. If it's deemed a deliberate DNF, that has heavy consequences.
Yeah, you had that happen to you in the past, so I'm sure you'll remember about that.
Yeah, I actually had wing damage and went.
What race it was, but yeah.
It was in Spa. I had wing damage, went very wide and over the grass in. I can't remember the chicane now. Is it Campus? I think it might be.
I think so.
The one before Stavolo, and then aquaplaned and everything else, and hit the wall and lost my wheel. And people said that I'd DNF'd on purpose, but I never do that. I've never ever done that in my life. But it was a bit of a. It is what it is.
A weird one, yeah.
Yeah, it is what it is. That was a number of seasons ago, so I think I've slightly made up for it with the racing I've had in recent seasons, so I can't say too much more nowadays.
Yeah.
I mean, this season isn't going to plan, but hey ho, I'm mixing with you boys,
it's
and
tier one.
It's
tier one.
It's hard work. It's hard work. It is. I mean, that doesn't take anything. What did he get? What's he?
Just noticed.
Yeah, but not a bad move.
At the start.
He did. He was the only one to start on those softs, so he didn't make a lot of places up. So probably not a bad choice for him.
Yeah.
To do that, because now he's on the hards. I mean, no one will have much wear, maybe 1-2%. But he's on the back of the pack. Technically, doesn't have to stop.
Yeah,
he's got one more lap. Yeah. Oh, well, see how long these hard tyres last. Especially if we are going to have that rain. Then, and this is difficult because it's a night race. We don't necessarily see the clouds rolling in that we normally see.
That's a really good point. Yeah, it just comes up and surprises you sometimes if the engineer isn't up to scratch.
Yeah, well, less said about that one, the better.
Well, the only thing I'll say about it is that it used to be Jeff, and now it's Mark. So.
Yeah, we've got. It was based on Elvis, wasn't it?
Elvis,
who was McLaren engineer for many years.
Actually called Mark, isn't he?
He is called Mark. Yeah, his nickname was Elvis, and I can't remember why.
Right, okay.
He did a book, and for life of me, I can't remember his surname, but it was a very, very fantastic read. He was at McLaren, and his I think last season at McLaren was 2007 when Lewis joined. And I'm pretty sure it was in Lewis's garage, and had a few things to say about the Lewis-Fernando sort of exchanges and relationships, shall we say. But yeah, very, very good book, very, very good read. I can't believe what it's called now. I'm sure somebody in the YouTube chat will know. Unfortunately, one of our big readers, our big reader single track knows now. Encyclopedias, Monster and Bit are actually racing, so they can't help with that. Colin's in the chat. Good to have you. Hopefully, see you back next week, my friend. So he's supporting Friddy. Which, to be fair, I'm surprised about that, Colin, because he's technically your one of your big championship rivals. So. But
he was starting a rivalry with Vixen, and since Vixen's not racing anymore, he's probably trying to play mind games now with other drivers.
I wonder if he's trying to do the commentator's curse from YouTube. Good evening to the 21 of you. Hit the like button, come and join us if you are not a member of MRC. Subscribe, hit the bell and subscribe. The safety car is now coming in at the end of lap 3. Freddie is the safety car de facto. And when is he going to lead us off? The safety car about to come into the pit lane as he backs the pack up. Is he going to go out of this final corner before the final 2 corners? He's just playing a few little mind games with everybody. He does just before the final corner. Puts the hammer down. Doesn't catch Nick at all. Ryan a little bit further back, but not too far away. Everyone seems to be well behaved going down the pit straight. And it is as you were. And this is going to be an interesting one for especially the guys on the hard tyres to see what heat they can generate now and how they're going to really catch up. Hosman was the one who sort of got left a little bit.
It's a very, very long lap. We've had 3 laps of safety car from the first lap of the race, so these tyres are like stone cold. They're around the 60-degree mark, 55 degrees. It's going to be a tough drive, for the first 2 or 3 laps here.
Yeah, and unusually, for a street circuit, there are a couple of sort of run-off areas and exit curbs with a bit of track on the outside of them. So track limits are actually a thing around here, which you don't normally see for them. Oh, that was Spinita going very, very wide, but manages to hold on and block Loppy. This is now pretty much single file. Unless you get a very good run over the Anderson Bridge, you've got to be very, very brave to make a move through there. DRS will be enabled at the end of this lap, but Freddie's already pulled 1.6 seconds from Nick.
Yeah,
so he's really pushing hard. As that was Panizza again, really going deep and really struggling for that tie grip. Loppy straight through. Bergen now is the next man in the kick as they go side by side into the final chicane. Bergen's on the inside line, gets the move done, gets the car stopped in time, and there's a little bit of battle further back. That's single track and Alex Edrick. And single track in 10th position.
Nick BT is going to be under pressure now because, as you said, Freddie has got a nearly 2-second gap out in front. So he's going to be vulnerable to Ryan's DRS here.
Oh, so Christy T's actually popped up in the YouTube chat. So he didn't retire just to retire. He had severe rear damage and couldn't go over third gear and spun into a wall and DNF. That's unlucky, buddy.
The way his crash looks, that doesn't surprise me.
Fair. I unfortunately saw it over the bridge, but yeah, to be fair, that's one even in these conditions when you've got a fully functioning car. It's easy. That sort of left-hand kink. Yeah. It's really easy to lose the rear through there, and to be honest, it's that narrow. Once you're sort of sideways on, where we're looking at red car on the back of Nick, once you're sideways on here, you can't really turn the car around, can you? You're sort of stranded.
Definitely not.
So yeah, it doesn't surprise me at all. So unlucky for you, Kirsty, and hopefully we'll see you back next week. Nick went a little bit deep at the end of that bridge. We've got a beautiful helicopter shot down there, but Ryan, that was a second DRS, not close enough this time round as Freddie is just disappearing off into the distance. Really commanding this early stages, and everybody else very, very close. Bergen's another gap that's 2 seconds. He's going to be under pressure from Armour Red and the chasing pack as well. Everybody then down to Bit, who's lost a place to Evervoice. A very, very close quarters now.
It is to be expected right now for Bergen because he's on hard tyres. So
yes, of course he is.
He will be the bottleneck right now.
Oh, Nick struggling so much for grip. Seems to be the front end. That car does not want to turn at all. Maybe a little bit wide through turn 1 and 2, so that could have been a track limit warning. Ryan backed off into turn 1, but now is he going to have the run? As Nick, I think, is really trying to push hard. That gap at the front just opening. Ryan not close enough this time round. But you still got to be careful. He's got Airways and Hosman and Loppy for company. So, you know, this is one that I think maybe Nick was set up more for that wet running, and it's really, really hurting him now.
Yeah, it's hurting him and it's hurting everybody else behind him because unless Freddie's the only one to be on that pace, everybody's being kind of limited in that respect. And Ryan has got a better exit here out of the Anderson Bridge. He's going to go on the outside.
This is going to be brave from Ryan. goes on the outside, leaves the room. Nick gets his stop, but who's got the better traction? That'll be Ryan, using his battery and gets the move done into second. So this is going to be
Ryan's chance to close up the gap.
Exactly that, exactly. See what pace he's got and see what Nick can do. I think he used quite a bit of his battery, Nick. We haven't been on board for obvious reasons, but then see what Airways and Hoseman and Loppy can do as well about that, and see the pace that they've got, as well as Ryan, as well, in now in second.
Interestingly, for the moment, Bergen has lost about 1.2 seconds on that last lap. It doesn't look like, even though it's lap 7, of course, we've had 3 laps under safety car conditions. It's going to be interesting to see when I don't know, I can't remember the word, but basically the hard
the crossover. Yeah, right, single track's got the run. He's gone round the outside and then under braking, but he's not giving this one up, Bergen. He never does. So this is going to be very, very close. Oh, there's been contact. There was contact. I think single track was ahead, but that is a single file corner, so single track's now on the mediums. He's got through. See what his pace is now, of course, as well. Yeah. Hoseman's dropped off the back of Airways. I don't know if he's had a moment somewhere. And
Loppy, they were side by side for 2 or 3 corners there. It was very, very good racing.
Ooh, interesting. But yeah, this is now, there's a lot of good battles here, and it's sort of, when I don't know, I want to look at the front, but at the same time I want to look at this Loppy battle in the single track, see what he can do. As you said, that crossover, the hard tyres, I think the delta's just very, very strong and between the mediums and the hards, but Bergen's still doing a great job. Yes, he dropped the time to the lead runners, but, you know, he's still with single track, who locked up, gone very deep and very slow through there, so this might give Bergen a chance.
Yeah.
With the DRS. Rassam's the first one to get a penalty.
At this stage, it's a good thing for him to have Martinez kind of the pace car, so he can just get those tyres up and running, and Monster's got another 3 seconds, well, has got his first 3 seconds of the race as well.
Yeah, I think that'll be turn 2, where we said that people can go wide through there, and yeah, this is Ryan's it, you're right there.
Ryan's taken half a second out of Freddie since he overtook Nick.
I was about to ask that. Funnily enough, you read my mind with that one. I've just come back to those 3 with Airways and looking at that gap, and you know, Nick, since he got passed by Red Car, hasn't gone anywhere. He's still there with Airways behind, and they've just about dropped Hoseman, who's just trying his best to get back within that DRS. And yeah, this is going to be interesting to see what Red Car can do and see where he's quicker in comparison to Freddie and what they can do about that gap, because that gap's just gone back up by half a second. So I wonder if it's the parts of the track, the way the cars are set up, higher downforce, for example, maybe for Freddie on the rear, so you can just carry that speed through that tricky middle sector, where in that first sector, which is, you know, the main DRS zones and the longer straights, that Ryan's quicker through there. So that could be one, and yeah, the Hoseman had a really good last middle sector there, and last sector he's got close right up to the back once again of this. I don't know if it's called Cinquette, is it? I don't know, 5 cars. I don't know, 4 cars.
Quintet,
that'll do.
You were thinking too French there.
I was a little. I don't know why. Oh, what's happened to Hoseman? Hoseman went very wide. I don't know what happened there. Went very, very wide on the entry into his. Monster's retired from the session. That's brought out another safety car. What's happened to Monster? Oh, exit of turn 3. Easy to lose the rear through there, though. You get a little bit of the tyres, get to that bit of wear. And that's so unlucky.
With somebody else as well.
Yeah, he was fighting with Smith, I think it was. And yeah, that's just so unlucky for Andrew. Just wanted to keep his head down. That's really, really unlucky. But now then, lap 9. Who's going to pit? Who's funny enough, Freddie had quite a lot of his battery left as well, even though he was quite comfortably 4.5, nearly 5 seconds in the lead. But it's going to be interesting to see if any of these medium tyre runners pit at this point. See what Bergen might do.
If nobody pits, I think this is very clear what's happening. The rain is coming. Otherwise, everybody's got to pit. Even Bergen on hard tyres, he's going to have to pit, because if he doesn't pit now, he's going to be losing out on the restart and further down the line, because he will have to have to change to medium tyres, unless he believes the rain comes quick enough and everybody else doesn't. Of course, we don't know what's happening, and it looks like people are staying out.
Yeah, Footy's in though. Our leader's in, but Ryan, Nick, Airways, Loppy, Horsman have all stayed out. Single tracks coming in the pits. Sort of big mix. Big mix. And Footy's put the hard tyres on. Mont left the session. So yeah. Oh, Alex has sped in the pit lane. Didn't quite understand that it was a slow one. Maybe just got caught out a little bit. Oh, Fabian's popped in the chat and said it's rain in 10.
I was about to say, I'm surprised that Freddie's gone for hard tyres. If it's going to rain, you'd surely go for either a set of softs if the rain is coming very quickly, or another set of mediums, because you're not going to be using them at the end of the race unless the rain stops. But I'm surprised by that hard tyre decision. Yeah,
well, Single Track's put another set of mediums on. Out of that one. Alex has got his 10 set penalty, but he's put hards on. Dunjage mediums. Sociopaths put the hard tyres on. And Rassam with mediums as well. So that's a bit of a mix. But it is, I think it's approximate weather. So 10 could mean 5. It could mean 15. It's one of those that it's not quite where you think it is. And have they... Well, are they getting different signals than Fabian, than Emma Voice? Are they thinking, okay, it's not till maybe another 10 laps time? Some people, another 10, 15 laps time?
Yeah.
Or are they reading it as 10 minutes, which is, well, around here, it's going to be about 5, 6 laps. This could be, I think this is
I think it's a shame because it just takes the strategy of the elements out of it. It's kind of okay. Who's kind of read himself into luck, into knowing when the rain comes. It's kind of what happened on Friday with X. I won that race, but I think I was kind of lucky in terms of getting the right overtake at the right moment, and other people suffered from it, and that just doesn't feel right to me. To me, it's very similar here. People at the back are going to be catching up very soon, so the safety car won't be lasting for too long. But I'm interested to see if Nick is going to go for a dry set of tyres or inters. He's gone inters.
Wow.
Right. He's gone inters. I am loving this right now.
This is a man after your own heart, isn't it? Dry track at the moment, but intermediate tyres under safety car conditions. I mean, this is you down to a T. This is Sociopath's pitted again, so he's put the soft tyres on. Wow, I mean,
it's one of those two tyres. One of those, and Sociopath was at the back of the track anyway, so he's got a free pit stop. It makes complete sense for him to go for the softs or the inters. Softs will help, you know that, but the viewers, I don't know. It'll help you have more tyre temperature on the restart and more temperature when the rain comes, so more grip, so you're faster. And inters, it's self-explanatory. And you understand what I mean.
Yep. And you went 2 frames that time.
Did too much. It's just, I thought I saw some drops. I'm just expecting them now.
Yeah, I know. I'm the same. I haven't gone on board with anybody yet. I'm going to go on board with Ryan. As we're behind the safety car, it may come in at the end of this lap, but I can't see anything at the moment. So
Ryan will be very happy about this right now because he won't have to pit twice, whereas Freddie did, and he's done in P12. Freddie.
Yeah,
everybody ahead of him hasn't pit, so Ryan is laughing right now.
Yeah, I think definitely he's in the best place at the minute. Bergen as well, he's on the hards, but maybe gambled that the rain was coming later on. And this is just going to be again, when is that rain going to come? Nick's going to be hoping that it comes, well, in a lap, basically, and comes with a vengeance as well. 20 laps to go. Potential rain. I mean, this is anybody.
To see people pitting right now.
Yeah. There's Ryan's gone early, and he caught Airways napping just a little bit. But very tentative through the final two corners. We didn't want to lose the rear because they're a little bit cold at this moment in time. That's allowed Airways to get the run on him into turn one. Not close enough, and everyone's still line astern. We're going to keep our eye on Nick. Again, on the inters, Alex has got 3 seconds to add to his 10. Not a good mid-stint for him. But yeah, let's keep our eye on Nick. He doesn't want to burn those tyres up. Oh, who was that that's gone round? It was, Grant, Scottish Ninja. Too cold on the tyres. Hopefully no damage for him. But how quickly can these guys at the front get their tyres into the working range? How's the wear looking for them? Because we know the mediums don't like that heat cycles, do they? They just don't offer that same grip once they've cooled down, and it's a difficult one to sort of get them back and understand where the grip then is again.
Yeah,
and especially around here, that Monster unfortunately there and Scottish Ninja just was victim of those rear tyres graining up a little bit and sending the car in a pirouette. Bergen's dropped off the back, hasn't got his tyres. Smith's had a big moment as well.
Yep. Social Pass is going for a move. Yeah, it doesn't quite go for it.
Bergen struggling.
And this shows how good the inters are actually in these conditions as well.
Yeah, what, these dry conditions, you mean?
Yeah. No, honestly, he's not dropped off, so...
No, he hasn't actually.
It's working well enough.
Yeah, this lap. Yeah, that's very true. Bergen's the one that's dropped off the most through there. Single Track was one of the ones who pitted, so did Friddy, but Single Track's got through on Friddy because Single Track put the mediums on again. Friddy put the hards on, and we're seeing Bergen struggling to get the hards working, but they are worn hards, of course, Friddy. But we saw in the early stages, didn't we, as well, that the hards took a good few laps to warm up. There's that's Friddy! He's really hit the wall! Has that caused damage? We've got the worst camera angle for that. It's going to come around. Can't see. Has he got damage? I can't see. There's about 4 cars line astern going into their Dunditch as well. I have no idea what was going on in that one, I'm not going to lie. But I'm trying to see if Friddy has damage. Yep, you can see even from the helicopter. Yep, he has lost a front end plate.
Yep, he won't pit. He's going to be waiting for the rain here.
Yeah, I think you're right there. Single Track's the one making the moves. He's got the fresh mediums. They will be feeling very, very nice now after that first lap. From the safety car. Yeah, so Nick's you just outside of a second, but yeah, you're right. He just doesn't want to take too much life out of them, but it's so difficult to do when you're racing and as such a quick driver as Sociopath is. And I tell you what, Scottish Ninja's caught up to is catching up the pack very quickly as well, so he's definitely got the pace, which it showed in the early stage. It's just very, very unlucky, one of those things that happens around here. And so did Smith as well, so there's a few gaps, but Bergen's the one that's struggling. But let's go back to the lead group.
Yep.
What was a quintet? It's now a quartet. At least I got that one right. But yeah, Ryan's holding well here, and quick when it matters. Where the DRS is, Ryan is very quick. Loppy's up the back of Airways. He's going to try and have a look into the braking zone. A little bit squirrely as he applies the brakes, but gets the move done. So I think Loppy...
that's something that suits Ryan.
But Airways is not giving this up. Oh, he had to back out Airways. It was too tight to get the power down. His horseman going to try and have a sneaky look. Can't make it happen.
They've lost the DRS on Ryan now, so that parting has cost them dearly.
Yep, really, really has.
Down to a trio.
It is at the moment, yeah. Ryan's going to take pleasure in that one, as I say, and try to break away. No rain as yet.
And it has just appeared as you...
It has.
As you said.
Yep. It has. As soon as I say that, you mentioned... So, this is what Nick was hoping for. The field's tightly bunched. It depends on what life he's taken out and what those mediums going to do at this moment in time. How long can Single Track take his fresh mediums? And who is going to be the first one to blink? Because it is only light, and speaking of people blinking, we've got Loppy, we've got Horseman. Friddy now, 3-second penalty.
Ooh.
He was our pole sitter. So
I'm expecting it to be intermediate conditions at the end of the next lap.
Yeah,
I think people have to stay up for now.
Yeah, I think it's 1 lap too early, but yeah, I think you're going to be right with that one. So Loppy enters, Rassam enters, Horsman enters, Evervoice enters. Yep, they've now gone for it. What can Sociopath do? He's on those soft tyres. That's going to be an interesting one. Single track, really close up because of all the fighting in front of him. Bergen's sort of closed a lid. He's now battling with Armour, but he's got a very fast single track behind him as well. I wonder if single track's going to go early, or will he try to take that extra lap? Because it is slightly raining, and that's it, but not very heavily. So let's go on board with the boss man and see how that looks. It does look wet over the Anderson Bridge, so that does look quite slippy, but he's got the grip that maybe there's a searching a bit more for.
That gap up at the front has closed down a little bit, down to 1.7 seconds. It was just over 2 seconds a few months ago. I don't know if Brian's had a mistake, but expect these guys to go to the pits very soon.
Yellow flag, sector 2, that is, I'm not sure who that is. I think it was a McLaren.
Safety car.
Oh, safety car, yeah. So, has Ryan got it in time? He has. Ryan's got it in time.
Yeah. Had it been slightly further up the road, that could have hurt him a heck of a lot.
Yeah, it would. Bergen's pitted. Everybody pitting. This could hurt single track because he's quite close to his teammate, to Airways, so this double stack may hurt a little bit for the Williams man. Where is the other?
Nick will be out in the lead.
He is out in the lead. Yep, you're right. But
however, he's got 5 laps of wear on these tyres, and 5 laps of wear not in the wet, in the dry. So they'll be very, very worn. It's probably the equivalent to 7 or 8 laps in wet conditions.
Yep, I agree. Oh, everybody's got a speeding under safety car drive-through. Rassam as well. That's interesting. I wonder how that managed to come about. A few drivers pitting,
crossing the exit line.
Oh, speeding under safety car. So just didn't just came out of turn 3 potentially, and just pushing too much, and maybe just the delta really changed. Evervoice is DNF, Scottish Ninjas DNF'd as well somewhere. Not sure. That's in the pit lane actually.
Evervoice is in the pits, and yes, Scottish Ninja was in the pits as well. We've still got Hoseman in the pits.
Yeah, the man who we tipped to be very, very quick. Not gone well so far.
Not going to plan.
But this is going to be interesting because, I can't remember how many sets of inters do you get. Do you get 4 sets? I think it is, isn't it? But Nick used 2.
I can't remember.
This is the 3rd set for Nick. He'll have 1 set left. I don't think he'll go to the end. Whereas everybody else, well, most of them, I think, I can't remember who else used the inters. But a lot of them use the wet tyres in qualifying, so they'll have all the sets available to them.
Yeah. I think Airways used them. It wasn't top 3 who used the inters, and someone else. So I think Airways
Nick and Friddy.
Friddy, that's it. Yeah, you're right. But Friddy, he's had to change his front wing. I'll just check actually. Did he change his front wing?
Actually.
Yeah, he's got a fresh front wing now.
Yep, that's very important in these conditions. Although Nick didn't change his wing in qualifying, it was very quick. Oh, wow. So Fabian said it was a glitch. I mean, unfortunately, you're DNF'd. Loppy crashed in front of him, and suddenly his delta went from -1 second to +15. That's a good one.
Right.
I thought, oh, that's a good glitch. Well, not for you, unfortunately, but that's a very weird one. Very, very strange.
What? Minus to plus or plus to minus? Because minus is the one that penalises you.
Oh, it might be the other way around then, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a very, very weird one, indeed.
Weird, but at the stage where we are with this game, I'm not surprised anymore.
No. I mean, we just hope for next time round they do manage to fix it, because it's a shame that we've had some absolute gaming greats some of these games that we've had, and
yeah,
just a lot of the glitch. I do believe they're trying to. I've said this in one of my other commentaries recently, that I wonder if it's because they're, and it's not against anybody, but they're still accommodating for the older consoles that don't have the computing power that the PS5, the new PS5 Pro does. So that's maybe where the glitches are coming into it. If you go to the next gen, then that could potentially sort a lot of those glitches out and make it run smoother, because they're able to focus on that one output, because it is a different output sort of that's necessary or needed and used. So we'll wait and see, of course. Fingers crossed that everything gets sorted. But safety car in this lap for the third time. Well, just over halfway through this Tier 2 Round 6 of Season 15. But it's going to be Nick who will lead us away, and taking a bit of inspiration from Kimi Räikkönen. It's still not raining very hard, so it must just be still slippery enough.
Yeah.
But Nick has decided he's going to go very, very early, and hope to goodness me that the safety car does hit the pits, and he did have to back off quite a bit in the final corner, but away we go, and he's got a good run on red car. But a bit further back, everyone again just line astern at this moment in time. It's going to be interesting to see what Nick's able to do with those heavily 5-lap older intermediate tyres that, as you said, he was in the dry conditions, and Ryan's good in these conditions as well, but he's got a very quick Mercedes behind him, Armour Red, obviously always a quick Salzburg and Airways, and we've got, it's going to be, so should pass up to 9th, by the way. Well, 10th now, he's got passed by Friddy, but he was at the back, so that's a great race so far from him. And he's pitted a few times as well early on in the early safety cars. I think he started on mediums, then went hards, then went softs, and now inters, and he somehow found himself up there. Single track lost out a little bit in the pits. He had to wait for Airways. He was just too close. That's Benitez, I think it was. It was. And he's gone round. He just went too deep, and that's, again, a 10-point turn. We'll leave him be. That's so unlucky. Yeah, he just went too wide. Hopefully he hasn't got too much damage.
For the Mercedes.
It is, isn't it, at this moment in time? Absolutely dropped to the back, but he's away and going, hopefully no damage. But for him, as we've got Alex going around the outside, wow, of Loppy. What a fantastic move. Very brave, very fair as well from Loppy.
Having a look at tyre temperatures, Nick has got much better tyre temperature than Ryan right now, so that's probably why he managed to pull away at the start of the lap. But right at the end of the lap, I think Ryan took about half a second out of Nick. So slowly, gradually, the tyres are coming in towards Ryan right now. And of course, they're much fresher.
Yeah, they are, and he's pulled a good gap on Armour as well. I think Armour just got sight, would have been affected, of course, by, Alex, another second. Let's have a look at those penalties, actually. Whoops, it is. Need to put the wrong one on. 3 seconds for Friddy. Alex is on 6 now. Smith and Rassam on 3 as well. But yeah, he's really close. Ryan is now only half a second behind, but they've dropped Armour because he would have got affected, of course, as I was going to say, from Panizza.
Yeah.
But that rain's still just quite light. It's not heavy at all. It doesn't seem to be much on the track as we're on board with Ryan. And he is really, really close now to the back of Nick.
You're right about the rain. It's going to be interesting to see if it stays this way or if it stops in the next 2 or 3 laps. In that case, when do you pit, if you pit?
Yeah, and we've still got the DRS active as well. I was just having a look on board with Ryan, and he was using the DRS, but Nick's flashing away, but that's because he's on the intermediate tyres and the rain light now that comes on. As Ryan, both front wheels locking up under brakes. But he's looking quite quick, but I think Ryan's got a bit more of the pace because Armour's closed by half a second this lap alone. So yeah, he's going to be one to watch. What's Ryan going to do into turn 1? He's very sensible there. He's looked a few times during this race on Nick and as well, and just thought better of it. So playing a very sensible game as Ryan. But this is opening to 3 seconds as well. It's not gone well for him, but yeah, Ahmed really closed down. Those fresher tyres may be coming into play as well.
Big spin there for Martin.
Oh no!
At the beginning of the Raffles Boulevard, had a big twitch, big moment of oversteer, and corrected it, but he still spun around, so he's well down the order right now.
Yeah, but look, he didn't hit a wall or anything, so he's got 0 damage.
Yeah.
So that's good news for him. Yeah, very one. Yeah, but we've got quite a good helicopter camera. It looks like it's really raining at this point from the helicopter above the Anderson Bridge, and yeah, now the top 3, even top 4, 5, 6, very, very close indeed. We're just outside of the DRS. Friddy's on the chargeback. He's up to 7th now, past Bit. He's got a 3-second penalty as well, don't forget. But he is going to be a man really on a charge, really focused to get back up to where he was at the start of this Grand Prix. And 11 more laps to go. I'm just looking at, when I was on board with Ryan, Nick was really, really twitchy. And
he was,
quite a bit of understeer, and then it was coupled with a bit of oversteer. Ryan takes a different line through the final corners. He takes an inside line compared to Nick, who takes the more conventional wider line. So it's Ryan's done it quite a few times as well. So just seems to find that works better for him. And that's as Ryan gets the big twitch out of turn 3.
Yeah, despite that, it still looks a moment for Nick as well. So it only looks like it's a matter of time here.
But the Ryan's got a better run through turn 4, and here we go, turn 5, that was turn 6, and Ryan with the DRS has now retaken the lead from Nick, and runs very, very wide. Don't want to do that too often, that could be a warning. But that's important, I think, for Ryan. The fresher tyres, and Bergen and Airways have caught up to this lot. Dunde's only a second back with Friddy behind.
Another moment.
Didn't he just?
Whoa.
Yeah, that... But Nick's been doing that sort of all race. He was doing that early on as well. Oh, look at that. That was Airways 4-wheel drift. As there's a yellow flag, sector 2. I think that's Smith. It is Smith who's got going again. But this is very, very close. It's interesting to see what Sociopath can do. Of course, back of the grid, up into 9th as it stands, and on par with pit stops to everybody else. But just see if Nick can take these tyres to the end, and if he's going to try and maybe hold out, be a bit dries, and everyone goes to, well, maybe soft tyres at this stage, maybe. If it
could be, well, of course, it's still raining, so it's hard to say. But if you're pitting 4 laps from the end, I'm not even
Smith
sure.
retired, and we've got another safety car.
Oh,
and the top 7 have passed the pits. I think that's going to be unlucky more for Nick, because that could have been a good opportunity to pit for fresher tyres. Ryan,
I think
started to have a bit of pace. Yeah, I think they are, aren't they?
A few drivers at the back are pitting. You've got Alex in the pits, I believe.
Alex Horsman and Panizza are in the pits. Let's have a look at the tyres. They're gone. Alex has gone on mediums.
Wow.
Panizza's gone to, and Horsman's gone to softs. Panizza's stuck with the inters, but they've gone to the dry tyres. I wonder if it is going to stop.
Interesting to look at them right now. How are they going to be driving on the exit of corners? Because I wouldn't be surprised if one of them hits the wall.
Yeah, we're going to have a look on Alex, he's just wheel spinning like there's no tomorrow. But that could be intentional, of course, getting a bit of heat. Let's have a look. Lord of understeer, very attentive. Oh, that was only half throttle.
Yeah, this looks like racing, so in a safety car conditions, this is great. This is great entertainment for everybody.
Yeah, but to be fair, this is also a bit of learning for him, because if he thinks that the rain's going to stop in a lap or two's time, or that 10 that, just about missed the wall. What's Horsman doing? How is he looking on the softs? He's a bit more tentative and bringing them in. But if they think the rain's going to stop in the next lap or two, if they can get close enough to the back of the pack under the safety car, then they're going to be the ones in prime position.
They are, yeah. I'm just thinking of something. We had a restart earlier on. It was dry. and Nick was the only one on Inters. He wasn't overtaken very quickly by Sociopath. I think Sociopath took about 2 laps.
Yeah.
As Alex knew there's a Lando Norris there. Well, he did a Lando Norris. He didn't crash, but he was very close to. And yeah, so I'm wondering, even Alex right now, if it stops raining on lap, let's say 25, 26, how long will it take them to overtake 10 cars on intermediate tyres?
Yeah, that is true. He is, but Dondej is also in the pits. Martin has also put the soft tyres on. So, I wonder if it is.
He's going back in.
Yep, he is. I think he got wing damage, actually. Has he got... no, he didn't. So, Inters for Dondej. Inters again for Alex and Dondej. So, maybe it was just... Hosman stayed out. So, maybe it's just a gamble. It's just something they tried and just didn't quite work.
I think it's worth it for Hosman to stay out. If the rain is going to stop, you may as well give it a go, because right now, what has he got to lose? He's P10. If it doesn't work, he'll go down the order. If it actually does dry out and he pits right now, he'll be P16, no P15. No chance of scoring points really. So he may as well give it a go this time round.
Yeah, don't blame me, actually. Yeah, exactly. This will help Nick with that tyre wear a little bit, because of course he's now got 12 laps on those Inters, and they won't do much more than that, but it'll help everyone else 100%. But yeah, I think honestly, we don't have a clue what the weather's going to do. We don't have a clue who's set up better for it. We've got Husband on the soft tyres. We've got people further back on fresh Inters again.
Yeah.
And a few penalties as well for Panizza, Rassam and Alex. And Friddy, sorry, as well. Friddy's found himself back up into 6th. I mean, I can't call this race. Absolutely not.
No, it's
it really is. I think if it does stop raining in a lap or two, Husband's going to be chuckling away, isn't he? As long as he can keep the tyres going for the next 8 laps.
Yeah, if I were him, I'd already be focused on finishing this lap, because it looks very slippery. I'm still betting on Ryan to win this one. He's the lead car. He managed to overtake Nick, and Nick is on worn tyres. So it's still looking good for him. He can put make a gap on Nick, and by the time Armav overtakes Nick, he might be 2 or 3 seconds down the road as well. So it's still looking good for Ryan.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, that's what he's, I think, going to be hoping for. If it does, I mean, through the last sector, it looked as though it had almost stopped raining and then had to go on board with Ryan. And yeah, we can see through first sector, it certainly has not. So, yeah, this is a big, big risk for Hosman. He still hasn't pitted, so, and the safety car will probably come in at the end of this lap. So with single track now, we're joining the back of the pack. So yeah, this is...
For the sake of entertainment, I'm hoping that it stops raining on lap 25, 26, because we'll see what Hosman can do with these soft tyres.
Yeah, and we know it does dry up within about 2 laps, doesn't it, really, as well? So it's going to be interesting to see how long those Inters do last, which we saw Nick do a couple of laps anyway. Well, 5 before it really started raining. So we know they'll do it, and that's going to be an interesting one to see if leaders do pit and bail for the softs and take that risk, or they just try and stick it out.
Exactly, yeah. I'm not sure the rain is looking any lighter for the moment. It's hard to say.
Yeah. It does look a bit heavy, actually, I think. And the distance cam that we've got, I think it looks a little bit heavier than it has been the last few laps. Unless that's just me.
As I said, it's hard to say. I don't really know, but we've got the safety car coming in this lap.
Yep. Yeah, it's hard to say. We're not sure about the rain and how heavy it is. I mean, I do know that I would definitely be in a wall by now, so that's one thing I do know for certain. But once again, Ryan is going to be the man that leads us away, and the fresher tyres than he's got from the man in second place. what can he do in response? But we will have 6 racing laps at the end of this one. Let's get rid of those tyres off the screen. And Ryan's gone a little bit earlier this time, but Fox has gone with him. Fox did not get caught out at... Oh, sorry, Nick. I don't know why I said Fox. Apologies.
Nick, yeah.
I don't know why I said... Where did Fox come from? I don't have a clue. I think I'm used to seeing him in Aston Martin for a while.
Martin,
but
yeah, I think that's what it is, yeah.
I think it was. Horsman's already lost 1 spot to Panizza on the restart. But I think Panizza went a little bit early, he did, so he's had to let Horsman back through. He went before the start-finish line. Ryan getting very, very squirrely outside of turn 3, but everyone as well searching for the grip because the tyres will be very, very cold at this point, and there's movers and shakers down the order as well. Horsman dropping places left, right and centre.
Yeah, no,
the risk hasn't worked. The gamble didn't work for Horsman, and he just has zero grip at... Well, just zero grip completely there, and under braking. Look at that, Rassam under brakes so much, and just can't get the car turned at all. Can't put the throttle down. That's so unlucky for him because that could have been an absolute genius stroke there.
Yeah, well, that's what it is. You roll the dice and it works or it doesn't, and looks like it's not going to work tonight.
Yeah, exactly.
Nick is just about hanging on to Ryan, but he's pulling away now. Ryan, he's just over the second as Nick has a twitch on the exit, so that's going to cost him a lot of time all the way through this straight.
But it's going to be interesting to see. I haven't noticed it, that if I'll tell you what, Bergen's got lost a front end on his car. He's lost an end plate on the Sauber in 4th, so that's going to be a struggle for him. Single track's making his way through already into 11th. He was 15th, so a good restart for the boss man in the Williams. But Ryan, struggles in that middle sector, and he did lose a bit of time, a couple of tenths to Nick, who obviously pushed on quite strong there. But it's going to be interesting to see if DRS is enabled. I didn't see it pop up, so if it's disabled now... Oh, Nick under braking, a little bit twitchy once again. But if it is disabled...
We'll find out.
Yeah, we certainly will. Let's have a look at Nick. He's just about within the 1 second gap to Ryan.
Looks like it's disabled.
Let's have a quick look. Is it going to pop open? It does not. Yeah, you're right. It has now been disabled. So, if Ryan's running that little bit skinnier rear wing, and mind you to hold on, he is very good in these conditions, man.
Yeah.
Then, this is going to be good to see what he can do. And another man who's good in these conditions, Bitt, is just having a race. Whoa, Nick, drifting through. Jeez, I don't know how he does it. I hate it when that happens to me. But
I think that's just the way you have to drive in the wet, and I can't do it.
No, I can't.
This game, I mean.
I can't. I think I got taught recently that even if you're in a straight line and the wheels are spinning, it's a good thing. It goes against my everything that works in my brain. That just goes against it. Wheel spin's good. It's positive. No, it's not. But the man who's doing well, it's quiet race, doing what he needs to do. Is Bitt there in 7th. He's got Sociopath for company. But he's just doing what he needs to do. He's having a good, solid run. But he's good in these conditions and has been for multiple seasons.
Yeah, and very mistake-proof as well. So
yeah,
he's virtually guaranteed a finish here. So he'll be just waiting for anybody else to have mistakes up in front.
Yeah, especially with everybody that's 2nd to 6th. Very, very close indeed. And I think Armour had a brief look at Nick into turn 1. But Bergen with that wing damage is holding on very, very well. And look at this. But this is just allowing Ryan. He's got 1.5 seconds to Nick at this moment in time. And just doesn't want to push too much. Colin says it's a classic Singapore race. Well, safety cars and wet weather. That's it usually is. As Armour's having a good look, is he going to have a look on the brakes? Can't quite get it done. Blocks off Bergen as well as trying to sneak around the outside and put his nose in, just about to avoid a single track. Now back up into the points, battling with the pizza man, who's I think he might have got pushed a little bit. He has been pushed wide, I think. Or was that Dondage that had a moment? It was Martin as well. I don't know if there's been contact somewhere. Martin's got... No, he hasn't got damage. It's just the black end plate of the Williams. I'm not sure. He was battling with Panizza and Rassam and Dondesh, who has got wing damage. Panizza's also missing an end plate. And I think that's Loppy as well.
Yep.
So it's all sort of going off now. Hosman's pitted. Alex as well, so we've got one kick and one.
Go ahead.
Go on, no, go on.
I was going to say that Bit is looking quite good here. He's closed the gap down to the guys in front who've been battling.
Yeah, he has,
so
actually.
That could protect him a bit from Sociopath getting a bit of a toe.
Yeah, I wonder if these guys battling have allowed that. Nick may be struggling on those tyres now, a lot more worn than everybody else, and that gap to Ryan has opened up to 2.7 seconds at this moment in time, with 3 more laps after this one. This is very, very close. Can't call a podium at this point. Friddy's back up into 5th, but has that 3-second penalty. Should still get points looking at the gaps, as Loppy and Panizza are having a ding-dong battle through the first couple of corners, and the other Red Bull of Rassam. Solid race from him as well. He's there looking interested. As Panizza and Loppy, we know what these two are like. They race very, very hard indeed, and Panizza just about kept it. Loppy in front of his teammate as well. Whereas Rassam's probably thinking, come on, mate, I've got the better pace. I've got, well, my front wing intact. Let me have a go. But Panizza's got, well, so has Rassam. He's got 3-second penalty as well, which will go back to Bergen.
Around the outside of Armagh.
Yeah, but Armour's not giving that one up. That's close as wheel banging as well. That really hurt Armour. Now Friddy's through. Six of one, half a dozen of the other, maybe. Not sure. I think there was just, I don't know, not sure on that one. But Armour was the one that
tough conditions.
It is, yeah. I think
some stewards they'll deal with it. I don't mind it too much.
Yeah, of course they will, but that's allowed. As you mentioned, Bit is on the back of this. This is a big, big battle now for the podium places. Friddy on the recovery drive up into 4th at this moment in time, but let's look at the penalties. 3 seconds on the penalties. That's Bergen. He has. Yep. Oh, and that's Friddy. I wonder if Bergen almost came back on track and caught Friddy out a little bit. Not sure. But this allowed Ryan a 4-second gap with 2 laps to go.
Yeah.
After this one, so 3 to go.
Yeah,
3 to go. Nick, very, very deep.
Yep.
I'm trying to work out where Friddy would end up, but I really can't. I think it might be about 7th, 8th, potentially at this moment in time, if it were to end now. But let's go back to the tyres.
It would be 8th.
Panizza's on 7 lap medium, Inter. So yeah, he's going to be looking very, very quick, but he has got that penalty as well. Single track fresher as well, so he's going to be trying to get onto the back of Rassam and hope for some points. Rassam has now had to go through his teammate, and they've dropped off the back of Panizza after all that. As Panizza's joined this. Whoa!
Bergen's doing exactly what Armagh was doing to Nick, trying to put him into difficult positions, and it's every single corner he's going sideways. I don't know how he's doing that.
I know. I don't either. We're on board with Bergen, and you're right, it's under braking as well. Nick really, really struggling, and those tyres very much past the best. That gap opened up to 5.2 seconds to the leader, but this is for 18 points at this moment in time. Nick goes very, very deep. Bergen takes an inside line over the curve, trying to straighten the car, but can't quite because of the traction. Wow, this is going to go to the wire.
Yeah. And it was slow through that corner as well, but Bergen has to react to him as well, so he can't just go quicker. He's going to have to slow down to avoid a...
Yeah, this is incredible from Bergen. He's got that wing damage as well, so he's holding on, really showing great pace. You're going to have a look at the turn 1. No one's really tried it there, this race, because it's a late braking zone, quite a wide entry into turn 1, so because of the right-left nature, people don't tend to make a move. And we saw very good patience from Ryan early on, especially against Nick.
He's just trying to go through on Bit, and he didn't quite manage to go around the outside.
Wow, look at this as well. We've got Friddy in there, and oh my goodness me!
They're all together. It's too close for comfort.
It actually is, isn't it? It really is. In these conditions, the tyres that are very, very worn at this stage.
Nick's going wide, and Bergen has a better exit there, but...
Wow. I mean, yeah, I'm speechless. My heart's in my mouth. I can't say too much because you just don't know what's going to happen one corner to the next. Wow, as Bergen's taking a different line. I think there's been contact with Freddie. I think he tried to take the wider line, Bergen, and I think Freddie sort of outbroke himself a little bit, thought he was going to have a look as Bergen was eyeing up the exit, and that's really cost Bergen a different line and a different look to try to get past Nick at this stage as Ryan's nearly starting the final lap of the race. I think that was Freddie, went a little bit wide and got the understeer in the slippy conditions and hit the wall, but that looked like it was side wall, so no damage again to the V-carb.
I mean, everybody's in this train. It's amazing.
It really is, isn't it, the way that people are driving at this moment. Last lap, last chance for Bergen to claim second. Is Nick? That's exactly it. Bergen's got 3 seconds. He could turn 1.
Yeah, all of Nick's efforts are paying dividends now.
They are. He's driving absolutely fantastically through very difficult. He went early onto those inters, took the best out of them in the dry conditions, but he's holding on. This could mean Airways and Armour would be third and fourth. Airways could get the final podium position.
We could get Carl P5 as well. Everybody getting promoted.
Yeah,
it's a small penalty, 3 seconds, but it's so expensive at the same time.
Yeah, but we've got all the way down to single track in 12th, all the way behind Nick. This is like a formation lap, this one, behind safety car. They're that close. But everyone pushing. Oh, Freddie. Sorry. Oh, I think, wow. Gee whiz. This is ridiculous. There's a yellow flag, sector 2. Who was that? That's Panizza.
Yeah, unfortunately. I think Mercedes really don't enjoy that section of the track tonight.
No, they haven't, have they? They've not had good fun at all round there. But while I know this battle's going on, we're going to have to cut to the man of the moment. He's been cool, calm and collected all race long. Made the overtakes when it mattered. Had the pace when it mattered. Was very patient. Incredible drive from fourth on the grid. Ryan takes the win in the wet conditions. Is Nick going to hold on for second? He does. He takes second. What a race from him. Airways does take third. And as people cross the line, so it's Armour will take fourth. Bit in fifth. Bergen drops to sixth. And Freddie in seventh. Sociopath from the back of the grid takes eighth. Loppy in ninth. Single track in the end gets a point in 10th. Rassam just out, really unlucky. He's in 11th. Dundesh in 12th. Panizza's going to come round now and with no front wing take 13th. Alex in 14th. And Hosman further back. They're so unlucky. Tried the risk thinking it was going to stop raining and didn't work out for him. So really unlucky for Hosman this evening. He will take 15th. And the final finishing position with Smith, Everboy, Scottish Ninja, Monster and Krusty T, who did not finish. But wow. I don't even know I still don't know what to say, to be honest.
Well, the race got turned on its own head quite a few times tonight, so it's a bit normal not to know what to say about this one, but we've had quite a few good performances, I'd say, even from guys who've had penalties. They've driven a good race, considering the conditions as well, considering the track and conditions. It's definitely not the easiest race.
No, certainly isn't. You're right there, and strategy was key, and the safety cars weren't always the greatest timing. But wow, what a race that is. Ryan takes the top step. What a race. The man that was up at 4 o'clock this morning driving, I don't even know which airport it was, he didn't say actually, so what a fantastic race for him. I bet he's over the moon with that one. But wow, what a race that is. That's the game's given Sociopath driver of the day. I mean,
quite a few a good shout out there.
They are. You could say Ryan for that win, and you could say Nick for holding on to those intermediate tyres and his defence as well. Also, of course, Sociopath as well. And I couldn't call it. I really can't call that one.
I had to put someone else in that group of names who've got bit He started P12. We were saying at the start, yeah, he's good in these conditions. He doesn't make mistakes. He got P5. I think it's his best result of the season. So, yeah, to me, it's hard to choose between these four guys because Ryan had the perfect race. As you said, Nick did the most with what he had in terms of strategy. But, yeah, no mistakes. And Sociopath making his way from the back. It's up to you, mate.
I mean, I'm probably going to give it to all of them. I have to split it, to be honest. I really can't choose. So there we are, folks. Only in 15 minutes, we went over a little bit than what we usually do due to the safety cars. So in 15 minutes' time, Ant and I will be taking our turn around the nighttime streets of Singapore and trying to avoid the walls. Well, I will, anyway. So all that's left to say is thank you, everybody, for watching. And absolute pleasure to have you back, my friend.
Yeah, thanks. And hopefully having rain in both qualifying and the race means we don't get any rain tonight.
Oh, that would be nice.
Good luck to you. And yeah, it was good to finally be back on comms with you.
Same here, my friend. Same here. And yeah, good luck as well. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Join us again, 15 minutes time for Tier 1 action. Thank you all, and good night.